make a Flappy Bird type game. So first thing I'm going to do is get rid of the sprite that we currently have because that doesn't fit. I'm going to upload a couple of sprites. So bring in the bird, I'm going to bring in the pipe. Okay, so we've got those two sprites there. We're going to make the pipe for now hidden and change the size of that bird to 10. Okay, one more thing we can do is if we go to here and we go to, we're going to background. Okay, you got lots of options. Just going to quickly go to paint and we'll make it a blue color. Just like that. Different ways you can do this. I probably don't do it the best way. I just literally give it a quick paint like that. Done. And we've got our background set there. Okay. Now if we go back over here and want our bird, so important whenever we do any coding is selecting the correct sprite. Okay. So now what we want to do is be able to set where he starts and set gravity for the bird. Okay. One thing we can actually do with our, if we go to our backdrop here, actually, if we go convert to bitmap, it'll make it a nice square for us after we just paint it all. Okay. Now let's go back to our bird. Okay, and we'll start setting some of our codes. We need a variable here, and the variables make it so it'll drop. So that's going to be a gravity variable. Whoops, sorry, press enter. Okay, we've got our gravity variable there now, and we need to start putting in our event. So when the green flag's clicked, because that's how we start it, we're going to set our gravity and set its position and make it happening forever. Okay, so if we go to our control, I'm going to go forever. I'm going to set our gravity as well. So we need to set our gravity to 0. And then we're going to change our gravity. So we go settings. Sorry, this one. I'm going to go set. Sorry, this is going to be under set gravity. We're setting our gravity to. I'm selecting the wrong ones all the time. Hang on. Let's really get rid of that one because we are changing gravity by -1. Alright, and that way it's going to drop. Okay, and we're going to go motion. And we're going to go change by. I'm going to set that to gravity. Essentially, so it's going to set gravity to 0, change gravity by -1, and that looks like it's right. So what happens when we press this? False. Cool, and that's what we want. We do want it to set him at the same spot all the time. So it's really good to be able to see. So if I put it in the middle, alright, so bottom is, the bottom's there, and the top's there. You can see our gravity count is up the top. Okay, and we want him in the middle. So say if you just want to move him in the middle, we can set Y to 0. So if we go to, we have an X, Y coordinate, and we make that Y 0. And we make the other position, not that. Alright, I'm happy with that. So that way when you start it, he's going to start in the middle, right at the end there. Okay, so from there, what we want to do is, what I just did then was actually just make everything a little bit bigger, easier for you guys to see quickly. So we're actually move on to the next bit. So at the moment we've just got a dropping bird. What we want is to have it that when we press spacebar it makes it, Flappy Bird, so it's going to be bouncing up and down. Okay, so if we go to event and when you go to clicked, and when you go, when the green flag's clicked, I'm going to add a forever loop again because we want to be able to keep doing this. We need an if then, and we want to go spacebar press. So if we go sensing, and down the bottom here, it's there, and we want to set our gravity again. So we're going to set gravity to 10, and then we're going to wait until. Alright, so we're going to put our wait until in there, and then we need to have it so we can't just press the space bar down the whole time. We go not, we're going to have space bar pressed. That one. Alright, so let's test this. And I can't just hold our spacebar down the whole time. I've got to keep pressing it. So if I just push it, it drops. Cool. So that's all the code basically we need for the bird. So now what we're going to do is move along to the pipe. Okay, so with the pipe we need to select that. Alright, we've currently got him invisible, so let's go show. And you see it's not in a great position there. Okay, so if we come over to costumes and we can start messing with it, okay. Quickly what we're going to do is convert to vector, so we can move this down a little bit. We could also maybe shrink that a little bit, not that much. That looks normal. There we go. And what we're going to do is Control C, Control V to make another one. We can flip it. Yeah, we'll go horizontally and then we'll go vertically. Remembering that we need a gap in the middle, so let's go that one down a little bit. Okay. We'll come perfectly over each other like that, maybe. Okay, cool. So we've got that pipe set up there. And now, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. So we'll move on to our next part, which is going to be putting in the code for our pipe, okay? So yeah, let's go back over here. So essentially we want this spawning in, okay? So what we're going to do is go to events, and we're going to go here, and we're going to have when the green flag's clicked, forever, where are you? So we're down to controls again, forever, create a clone, okay? So I think that should be in here as well. Maybe so, there we go. Create a clone of myself, and then we're going to wait 3 seconds. Oops. There we go. Okay, cool. So we need that. So that's basically making a clone of ourselves. So we can actually hide that because that's not the important part. The important part is actual them coming in. Okay. Now the next step is making it so it's continuously coming in from the other side over. Okay. So let's go to events quickly, and we'll go to when I start as a clone. Where are you? Where are you hiding? And that's hiding down in controls. So when I start as a clone, what do we want to do? We want to show. So if we go to looks, we go down to show. We want to go to some specific places. So we're going to, and we're setting this via the X and Y, but it's a little bit easier than that. So if we go to X, so we're on the other side, we're starting over this side, so that's going to be 240. And then we want it to go to picking a random spot. Okay, so picking random between -100 and +100. Okay, and that way it's going to always leave us a little bit of space in the middle. And we need to repeat until X position. So we're going to go motion. X position's just there. Whoops. Sorry, I need our operations first. And we need a greater than. We need sensing our X position. Sorry, we need motion. X position greater than -240. So that way it's gone all the way across the page, right? So the X axis is across there, so it's moving across, and then as soon as it's that one, we're going to be change X by, where are you? Here maybe. Oh, there we go. Blind as -5. Okay, let's try running this thing. So that one's there. Alright, cool. We need to make these start disappearing. But they're moving across and they're doing it randomly. So we can add in a control. All we need is a delete this clone at the end there. And let's give that a go. I might have put it in the wrong spot just then though. Yeah, I did. Stop. Because we need to put it in the forever loop. Maybe not. That one. Repeat until that. Pretty sure that's meant to be there. Alright, let's see if that works. Well, I'm pretty sure I just tried this on. Okay, let's have a play.
2,000 years later.
Okay, so after a little bit of playing, I figured out my mistake, and so I changed this to negative 200 instead of 240. My sprites weren't making it to the 240, so if we press play now, they can easily make it to the 200, and they disappear. Alright, so that solved that issue. So we've got our pipes, we've got our bird that flaps. I think the next step now is if we decide to make our score. So we're going to start doing that. Okay, so what we need to do is create another sprite. So we're just going to paint a sprite now. And we're going to quickly go convert to bitmap. Hopefully it'll let me fill. And we're just literally making a black background like that. And we chuck our text in. Over. And let me select it all. We'll change that back to white. Whoops. There we go. And add some exclamation marks naturally. And then if we go back to convert vector, go to this one. Bitmap. I'm going to convert it to vector yet. We need to make this bigger. One other thing you can do too, which I like to do, is give it some. I like to change the font, but I don't think you can actually do that in this one. So I'm just going to leave it how it is, make it a bit bigger. If you did all of this in vector and then converted to bitmaps, just do that. So we're in here in vector now. Now if I add my text, game over. Let's move that over there. Alright, let's go bring that forward, center it, add exclamation marks. Okay, so this is the difference between the vector and the bitmap. Is the bitmap's good at making it all pixelated and stuff, but the vector is better at some other things. If we then go to text, and we can change our text to say pixel. It's a pixel game. Alright, and then I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, cool. And now let's go back to our code. Alright, and we're actually probably going to start with let's quickly hide you because we don't want to see it all the time, obviously. Now, if we go back to our bird, then we need to make a new variable, and it's going to be called score, capital S, because we're going to keep this one on our screen. And we're going to move gravity, and we need to hide gravity. Score can be up here. Alright, and then we need to add, so if it's touching the pipe, if the pipes goes through, we get a score, but if we touch the pipe, we get the game over visual. So that's what we're going to be doing right now. So first thing we do is, like in here, we need to make sure we change. So if, let's go to control, and when you go to if, when you go to sensing, and when you go to touching, and we want it to be pipe, we're going to broadcast sprite 1 is what we want. Ooh, hang on, have I missed making something right now? Okay, so what I did, I jumped a little bit ahead and I wanted to set it from the bird first. We actually need to go over here, and we actually need to add some new stuff in over here, okay? So we need a new message, okay? So making sure that you're in your new sprite over here, and it's when I receive message, and we actually need to make a, over here we're going to do a new message, and go game over. Okay, and then what we need to do is jump onto our looks here, and we're going to go show, and we're going to go stop all, which is part of our controls down the bottom. Alright, but when we start it, we want to make sure it's hiding. So if I go here, so when that's clicked, we want to make sure it's hiding, because or else it'll just be there the whole time. And then now that should work. So if we go back to our bird here, message going to be game over when it's touching the pipe. Does that make? I think that should. Yeah, that'll work. That makes sense. So let's try pressing play, and that works. Cool. All right. Let's make sure we have that centered. Cool. So press play, disappears. But we don't have our score happening yet though either. So we've started making our score. We go back to our bird over here, we've got that. So what we could actually do is, if we, whoops, I just want that one, we'll duplicate that. Oh, we definitely don't want to duplicate the rest of it. Just that, so we're going to set score, whoops, to 0. Alright, so when we start, score will be 0, and then we want to change our score. So if we go to our pipe, and we want to change our score, so when it disappears, we want to change it to 1, okay? So we're going to go to change it to score, and we'll have it as 1. Let's give this test out. We'll be able to actually, there we go, so it's disappearing, and I've touched pipe there, so we've made it through. So you're going to be able to continuously do that, and the score is going to go up, and I think that is our full game. So if we open that all the way up, press that green flag, and we've made a Flappy Bird like game. Okay, so now I guess the last thing for you to do is to test how far you can get with that. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and hopefully that's been helpful.